Active Investor here, bringing you another independent analysis. This time we're taking a look at ticker symbol ARRY. That's ARRY Biopharma Incorporated. The chart we have today is a 2-hour chart. Each candlestick on this chart representing 2 hours of trading. We'll go back basically a month on this chart, but really I want to take a look at what happened once we started this uptrend. So, two main areas to take a look at: $3.26, $3.73. Those are our support areas. If those levels hold, that means the chart's going to stay looking really good. My final price target for ARRY Biopharma, based solely on technical analysis, is $4.26. That's not factoring in any fundamentals, not factoring in any of their possible clinicals or anything in their pipeline. Just speaking from a technical analysis perspective, if this uptrend does continue, I think the next price target before it faces heavy resistance is going to be $4.25. So with that out of the way, let's take a look at what our chart is telling us. Start with the relative strength index down the bottom. I'm going to go plot out our oversold points from overbought, since we do have plenty of those areas to take a look at. That'll give us an idea of the overall trend. Alright, one more to go. Make that a little cleaner. Actually went oversold here. So you can see on our first two oversold points, the trend was down. Our candles fell right along with that sentiment. The next area, we were basically flat even, and this consolidation does agree with that. Now let's take a look at where things get a little more interesting. So our next oversold point is higher, our next oversold point is higher, and our next oversold point is also higher. However, if you take a look, you'll notice that these oversold points, that line is pretty sharp. It's at a nice angle. These oversold points, the line starts flattening out a bit. What that's telling us is we're probably going to see some consolidation, which is fine and healthy. If we consolidate and pull back a little bit, I think we pull back to $3.73. Now, right now we closed right about $3.80, so a 7-cent difference is not a huge decrease. We're talking about maybe 3%. I think we'll probably test $3.73 as support. However, of course, there is a chance that we just continue making those higher lows. If we take a look, we had our lows here, made some higher lows, higher lows, higher lows, higher lows, higher lows, and once again higher lows. But if you take a look at our last two higher lows, they aren't too far off compared to the rest of those higher lows. Just like the relative strength index was showing us, it's agreeing that we're probably going to see some consolidation. So once again, this is specifically from a technical analysis perspective. I'm not analyzing this based on any fundamentals. Of course, if there's some clinicals that succeed, then the technicals are going to probably spike up and there's going to be less merit to this video. But from a specifically technical analysis perspective, it's looking like we're going to see some consolidation. You know, our oversold points are not as, what's the word I'm looking for? Divergence. There's less of a divergence in our oversold points than there was the entire way up. It looks like the uptrend is starting to wear off a little bit. You know, we have some consolidation up here at $3.73. So I think we're going to hang out here, but probably continue working our way up to that $4.26 area. The relative strength index is oversold now, so we could see some more selling off, and if we do, that'll fall right in line with the fact that we'll probably test 373 as support. Now let's take a look at our moving averages. We have the 13, the 20, and the 50 period moving average, and they're all in the perfect order. What's interesting is right here, you can see that almost crossed. We almost had the 13 period cross below the 20 period, which would signal that we'll probably be in a bit of a downtrend. However, it basically bounced right off the 20 period moving average, further confirming the fact that we're going to see some consolidation here. If it did cross below, then you could have expected more of a dip, but the fact that they are converging, but the fast moving average is still above the slower average, indicates that we'll probably continue this uptrend. The only thing that worries me is the fact that we closed below those moving averages. If this candle was green, and if this, I don't even know what to call that. It's not a doji. It's really just a point in time where we had a sale. It's probably an after-hours trading block, that little segment there. Not even a full candle, not a doji either. It's a little trading block after hours is what it is. If that occurred up here, everything would be looking a lot better, but it did close down here, below our moving averages, so that's not the greatest sign in the world. But I still think that even if we do dip, it won't be very much. Probably test that 373 area and bounce off and work our way towards 426. Now I'm going to be watching ARRY next week. I know we have some interesting data coming out in the short term, so I'm going to be keeping an eye out on those trials and seeing what's going on. But from a technical analysis perspective, I think we can work our way up another 10, 15%, maybe another 20% before we see some real pullback. So let's see what the fundamentals bring us in the coming week or so. But on a technical analysis perspective, I think that the trend is still up. It's just starting to get a little bit weaker. So nothing more else to say on this stock. I hope this analysis helped you guys out. If you have any sort of questions or any sort of other feedback, please leave a comment below. I'd love to know what you guys think about ARRY. I've been following this stock for a while, but this is actually the first analysis I've done on it. So hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll catch you later. Have a good one.